welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be looking at all of these things underneath a microscope, and we have some lovely pink flowers, some interesting red leaves, an interesting looking leaf, an ivy leaf, some different plants and a little green berry, some thin long flowers and some knobbly looking leaves, a little red berry and a really beautiful leaf, a really teeny leaf, a dark green leaf with some zigzags on the edges, and a really interesting looking rock. And this is the microscope that we are going to be using today. So let's get started. So let's start by looking at this lovely pink flower. So here is a pink petal close up, and it looks really big and nice, and it's got some very thin lines and it looks really interesting, and as you're going up it gets more thinner and more pointier. And then we have some small stems, and they're very big and thin, and they are light pink and they have some specks of white on them. And then we have some pollen, and they have some white specks on them, and they look very big and interesting, and I really like this plant close up. Now we are going to be looking at this interesting leaf here. So it's green and it looks a bit like a succulent, and it looks very big, and it has some small spots of white and a little bit of black as well, and it looks really pretty, and they've got pointy ends and fat ends, bottoms, and it's very interesting. So now we are going to look at this one. So this plant has some small little berries growing in the middle, and they're quite orange, and they're really small as well. And it has some nice green leaves, and they look very nice. They look a little bit furry, and at the tip it's a little bit more brownish and reddish, and it's very green and nice and fresh, and it has some little berries, and they look a little bit like baby grapes, and it looks really nice. Now we are going to look at this interesting plant. So this plant has some knobbly bits, and they're brown and looking furry, and here they look a little bit like cups, and they look very nice and detailed, and at the tip they have a little tippy bit, and it looks really nice, and it's got quite long stems, and they look very big from close up, and I really like it. Now we are going to look at this beautiful leaf. So this plant has a dark red brownish outline and some very detailed leaves, and it has a little point at the end of each leaf, and it looks a little bit furry, and it has some white and brown speckles inside of it, and it looks really nice, and it has some stems going through the leaves inside, and I really like it. This is a little red berry, and doesn't it look a little bit like a tomato? And we'll see it close up just now. And this is how it looks close up. So it has a very red body, and it has a little brown stem inside it, and there are some little spots around of it, and it's got some white furry bits. So now we are going to be looking at this wonderful little stone. So this is the rock, and it has lovely little markings, and it looks really interesting, and it's got some brown specks, and the main colour is a bit greyish, and it looks a bit like the moon's surface, and it's really bumpy, and I really like it. It looks really interesting. And this is a really small bud that we found, so let's see it close up. So this has wonderful little buds, and they're going to turn into leaves soon, and it's got a pointy top and a roundish bottom, and it's green and has a little bit of orange on it as well. It looks really nice. Oh look, and we found some teeny creatures walking around. Let's look at them close up. So this creature has some tiny antennas, and it's walking around, and it looks really big. It's got a little bit like a leaf-shaped body and a small head, and it looks really sweet. And here we have a really small bug that we found walking around. It's quite similar to the other one, but it has a little bit more of a fattish body and some thin legs and thin antennas, and it's really cute. And this is an even smaller one. It's quite similar to the other ones, and it's got thin legs and thin antennas, and it's got a black body, and it looks really nice and interesting. So that was very interesting. You got to see all different kinds of leaves and flowers and even creatures, and they looked really amazing close up, especially the rock, and it looked really beautiful. And you can do this at home. You can collect some leaves and some little critters, and you can look at them under a microscope. And a microscope is like a little telescope that you can look at really small things in detail, and it's really fun, and you can write down what you see, and you can show your friends, and I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching my channel. I hope you are having fun and learning lots of things. Please remember to like and subscribe. I really enjoy making these videos for you to see. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. See you next time.